Hi, and welcome back to Vines to Wine. My name is Remi Cohen, and we are here to discuss the who, what, where, when, and why of leaf and lateral removal in vineyards. So we are here in a Cabernet Sauvignon vineyard in Napa Valley on July 1st, 2010, which has been a rainy spring, so it's actually quite a vigorous year, and leaf and lateral removal is especially important in a very vigorous year like this one. So the who, your vineyard crew, me, you, whoever, but the what we already discussed, leaf and lateral removal in vineyards. Where is actually very important, obviously in your vineyard, but where in your vineyard? You actually want to work from what we call the shady or the morning side. So if you have north and south rows, you would want to work from the eastern side because the western side gets the afternoon sun in the afternoon heat and could actually get sunburn. If you have east-west rows, you would mostly want to work from the north side because the south side can have a tendency to be in the hot sun all day and you can risk sunburn on the south side. Either way, you have to be careful not to overexpose. If your vineyard is not north and south or east and west directly, then what you want to do is work from the side that does not get the afternoon sun. So that's what we're doing in this vineyard. When is actually also a very critical thing. We usually do leaf and lateral removal a few weeks post-set. We don't want to do it while the berries are flowering because we can disturb the process of fertilization. And we don't want to wait too long because the earlier we do it, the more quickly the grapes will get acclimated to their new level of sun exposure and will be less likely to have sunburn. So you don't want to do it right before a forecasted heat wave, and you also don't want to do it too late in the season where it generally is pretty hot and you risk the possibility of getting sunburn. Also, it's really good to get it done before you do your final mildew spray, be it oil or sulfur or an organic product or any kind of fungicide, because once you do this canopy work, you'll have better coverage and better penetration, and so you'll be more effective with that final spray coverage. Why? Okay. Integrated pest management is a philosophical approach to farming where we use mechanical, biological, or in this case of leaf and lateral removal, cultural control methods so that we can reduce the amount of chemical control that we need in the vineyards. And what we do here, this cultural practice of leaf and lateral removal will allow better airflow and sunlight to enter into the area where we have our grapes and thereby naturally reduce the pressure and the incidence of diseases like mildews and molds. We also want to create a situation where we have a uniform and dappled sunlight entering into the fruiting area. If we have a lot of fruit in the interior of a crowded canopy, it's going to ripen slower than the fruit on the exterior of the canopy. We want to create uniform ripening so we can pick a uniform harvest date and not have fruit that's green or raisiny. We want fruit to be perfectly ripe when we pick it. So, how? That's an interesting question, and it depends on how expensive the fruit is. This is actually already a fairly open canopy, so we're going to minimally remove leaves and be focusing mostly on laterals. It also depends on how skilled your crew is. You might want to give a crew a very basic instruction like remove the laterals, the first 3 or 4 laterals along the shoot, or remove leaves up until the first cluster but not above. So generally you want to try to keep a shelf of protection over the fruit. Again, you don't want to have excessive sun exposure. It's also good to work from the interior of the canopy and not really strip leaves. Here's one of the laterals. Here's another lateral. Some leaves down below. So we're just kind of opening this fruit. We'll leave this one for protection. This time is also a great time to clean up any suckers that might have regrown. So we're going to do a close-up as well and show you what a lateral is. A lateral basically grows off of the main shoot at the base of a leaf. So here is a lateral. So you might want to take this lateral off. Remove a few more leaves around that fruit. Here's another lateral. And a few more interior canopy leaves and laterals. And there you have it. That's the process of leaf and lateral removal in vineyards. It can vary depending on the site. You might need to remove less or more depending on the vigor, your disease pressure. Feel free to email me or ask me any questions. Thank you for tuning in to Vines to Wine. Check you later. Thanks.